Jelly Roll's emotional Grand Ole Opry induction, a story only God could write. The Grand Ole Opry stage has welcomed legends for nearly a century. But every once in a while, a moment happens that reminds everyone why country music still carries so much heart. That moment came when Jelly Roll stepped onto that stage and said something that instantly hit the crowd right in the chest. "I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be on this stage." The room erupted with cheers. But for those who know Jelly Roll's story, those words weren't false humility. They were raw honesty from a man who never imagined his life would lead to the most sacred stage in country music. And this night wasn't just about music. It was about redemption, faith, and a journey that few people thought was even possible. The moment that nearly brought him to tears. One of the most emotional parts of the night came when Jelly Roll looked out into the audience and saw someone who meant everything to him. His mother. The singer paused for a moment and pointed toward the crowd. "That is the woman, the reason I'm here. My love of music, my love of country music, my mother is here tonight." The crowd cheered as Jelly Roll spoke directly to her. He shared a story he's told many times before, but this time it felt different. This time he was standing inside the Grand Ole Opry. He talked about nights sitting in the kitchen as a kid while his mother made him listen to songs and really pay attention to the lyrics. At the time, she probably had no idea how much those moments mattered. But to Jelly Roll, they changed everything. "You didn't know it," he told her, "but you changed my life." His mother, Donna DeFord, watched proudly from the audience. Because of health issues, she uses a wheelchair and isn't able to attend many of her son's concerts. But there was no way she was going to miss this one. From jail cell to country music's biggest stage. If Jelly Roll's story sounds unbelievable, that's because it almost is. The Nashville native grew up in a broken home and struggled with addiction, legal trouble, and prison time. In fact, he was in jail the day he learned his daughter had been born. That moment forced him to look at his life differently. Slowly, things began to change. He found faith. He met the woman who would become his wife, Bunny XO. And he started chasing a dream that many people thought would never work. His music didn't neatly fit into one genre. It blended country, hip-hop, and rock. Early on, critics didn't know what to do with him. But Jelly Roll kept going. And eventually the world started listening. The song that gave him hope in prison. One of the most powerful connections in Jelly Roll's life involves Craig Morgan and the song Almost Home. While sitting in jail years ago, Jelly Roll searched online for a live performance of the song. The version he found happened to be Craig Morgan performing it on the Grand Ole Opry stage. That performance meant everything to him at the time. It gave him hope when he had almost none. Years later, after he got out of prison, Jelly Roll attended an Opry show and sat in the 7th row while Craig Morgan performed that same song live. It felt like a sign. A moment confirming that maybe, just maybe, he was meant to chase a future in country music. The invitation that left him in tears. Fast forward to December of last year. During an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, Jelly Roll was surprised with a video message. In the video, Craig Morgan appeared holding an invitation. "Jelly Roll, you are officially invited to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry." The singer immediately broke down in tears. For a man who once watched the Opry from a jail cell computer screen, the moment felt almost impossible to believe. Lainey Wilson's powerful tribute. The honor of officially welcoming Jelly Roll into the Opry family went to Lainey Wilson, one of the biggest stars in modern country music. Her speech captured exactly why so many people connect with Jelly Roll's music. She told the audience that Jelly Roll has never been afraid to tell the truth about his life. He turned pain into purpose, mistakes into music, and somehow managed to make millions of people feel like they weren't alone. That honesty is what makes his story resonate so deeply. The cross around his neck. There was another powerful symbol during the ceremony. Throughout the entire night, Jelly Roll wore a thick gold cross around his neck. But this wasn't just any necklace. The cross once belonged to Johnny Cash. Before the induction ceremony, Johnny Cash's son John Carter Cash presented the necklace to Jelly Roll backstage. He told him that it had been one of his father's favorite pieces of jewelry, and that he believed Johnny would have wanted Jelly Roll to wear it during this moment. For Jelly Roll, the gesture meant everything. He explained it in his own unique way. "I live my entire life somewhere between two middle fingers and the grace of Jesus Christ." And in many ways, that line perfectly sums up the journey that brought him here. A moment of faith on the Opry stage. To close out the night, Jelly Roll returned to the microphone with a message that felt more like a testimony than a speech. "I don't deserve the grace God gave me," he said. "But that's the best part. None of us do, and he gives it anyway." Then he delivered a message that had the entire crowd cheering. You don't have to listen to judgmental Christians about how you're living your life. You can read your own Bible. You can have your own relationship with Jesus. Amen. And with that, Jelly Roll officially became the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry, proving that sometimes the most powerful country music stories aren't written in recording studios. They're written in second chances. The crowd knew they were witnessing history. As the applause echoed through the Grand Ole Opry house, it became clear that this wasn't just another induction ceremony. Everyone in that room understood they were witnessing one of the most unlikely success stories country music has ever seen. For decades, the Grand Ole Opry has represented the very heart of country music tradition. Legends like Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, and Garth Brooks built their legacies on that stage. Now, standing in the same spotlight, was a man who once felt like country music would never fully accept him. Covered in tattoos, blending genres, and coming from a background filled with mistakes and prison time, Jelly Roll was never the typical country star. But that's exactly why fans love him. He doesn't pretend to be perfect. He doesn't pretend his past didn't happen. Instead, he talks about it openly: the addiction, the prison sentences, the struggles with weight, and the constant battle to become a better man. And that honesty has become his greatest strength. The song that changed everything. For many fans, the moment Jelly Roll truly broke through came with the release of the song Son of a Sinner. The track told a story that felt painfully real, a man trying to outrun the mistakes of his past while still believing that redemption might be possible. Against all expectations, the song climbed the charts and eventually became his first #1 hit on country radio. Suddenly, the artist that some people once dismissed as an outsider was becoming one of the most powerful voices in country music. And it wasn't just about the charts. Songs like Save Me, Need a Favor, and Son of a Sinner connected deeply with listeners who felt like they had their own battles to fight. Fans saw themselves in his music. People who felt broken. People trying to rebuild their lives. People searching for faith. A different kind of country star. Part of what makes Jelly Roll stand out is that he never tried to reshape himself into something he wasn't. He still speaks exactly the same way he always has. He still talks openly about his faith. And he still reminds people that you don't have to come from a perfect background to build a meaningful life. That message resonates far beyond country music. It's why his concerts feel less like performances and more like emotional gatherings where fans share the same struggles and hopes. For Jelly Roll, the music has always been about something bigger than fame. It's about connection. It's about healing. And sometimes, it's about reminding people that their past does not have to define their future. A moment his younger self never could have imagined. During the ceremony, Jelly Roll reflected on how impossible this moment once seemed. There was a time when he didn't think he would live long enough to see his life turn around. There was a time when he believed the mistakes he made as a teenager would follow him forever. And yet here he was, standing on the most famous stage in country music, holding the microphone in front of a packed house, wearing the cross that once belonged to Johnny Cash, a man whose own life story was also filled with redemption. For Jelly Roll, that symbolism wasn't lost. It was a reminder that grace can show up when you least expect it. The message he wants people to remember. As the night came to a close, Jelly Roll made it clear that this moment wasn't just about him. It was about every person who feels like they're too far gone. Every person who believes they've made too many mistakes. Every person who thinks their story is already written. He looked out at the crowd and delivered one final reminder. None of us deserve grace. And that's exactly why it's so powerful. Because it's given freely. No matter who you are. No matter where you've been. And for Jelly Roll, A man who once listened to the Grand Ole Opry from a jail cell computer screen. That truth brought him all the way to the stage where legends stand. And before we come to the end of this video, I just want to take a moment to say a very big thank you to all of you for watching. Your time truly means a lot. In a world where there are thousands of videos you could be watching right now, the fact that you chose to spend a few minutes here with me on Hajara Rama TV is something I truly appreciate. This channel continues to grow because of viewers like you. Every view, every comment, and every bit of support helps this community become stronger. And that's what makes creating these videos so rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, please take a quick moment to like the video, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends or anyone who might enjoy this content. Your interaction really helps the channel reach more people who love stories, entertainment, and updates just like you do. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Hajara Rama TV, and turn on the notification bell so you'll always be among the first to know when a new video is uploaded. There are many more exciting videos coming your way very soon, and I would love for you to be part of this journey as the channel continues to grow. I also enjoy hearing your thoughts, so feel free to drop your opinions, ideas, or suggestions in the comment section. Your voice matters here, and your feedback helps make Hajara Rama TV even better. Once again, thank you so much for watching and for being part of this amazing community. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, stay entertained, and keep watching Hajara Rama TV.